Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. Well, Lady D, I can't believe it.
I can't either.
It has been a year
A year.
of podcasts.
1 year.
1 year.
Where this one, then when we drop it, it's going to be our 70th.
This will be our 70 episode, number 70. And we started this June of last year.
Ooh, it's only been a year. I swear it's been 10.
It feels like it's been a lot more. But we have been doing this podcast for a year. Now, for those of you that didn't go back and listen to our very first episode, the podcast was my idea.
Yeah, I was ready to kill you.
I wanted to, I thought about it for a few months and tossed it around a little bit in my head about starting a podcast, about doing it, because I felt that our website wasn't getting out. People wasn't seeing our website. I needed another way to talk about the education and the misconceptions of BDSM. And yes, when I pitched the idea to you a little over a year ago, yeah, you was not happy. Not one damn bit you was happy. You was designing our posters for a demo that we had coming up, and you already had a lot on your plate that you was working on, that you was doing. And you was not happy, but all it took was the one time of us sitting down and you asking, how do we do this? How does this go? And me just starting the intro and us just coming in, and it was a practice run, and fuck, it went so damn good. I wish the hell I'd recorded that, but I didn't record the practice run, but it did. It went very well. And then immediately, I think you kind of fell in love with the idea of it, with the concept of it, with the time that we would spend together
talking about something we love.
It. So it has been a year.
It has.
It has been a roller coaster of a year.
It has.
We've had our rough times, doing the episodes, making sure we get one out on time.
We did some extra ones because we had recorded so far in advance.
Yep.
We needed to have some episodes where we could have one-on-one time, because
Right.
what I love about the episode is what I love about the podcast, not just the episode. What I love about our podcast is that we sit and we talk to each other.
Right.
And because we had done so many interviews,
Yeah.
we were out
wasn't talking.
almost 2 to 3 months
Correct.
of episodes. And I said, I want to get back to basics with you and do some one-on-one time.
Right.
And that is how we ended up doing the
Miniseries.
After Dark.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a pretty good little run. We got a lot of response and listeners from that. But so this is episode 70.
70.
1 year later.
1 year.
And out of 70, well, out of 69 episodes, it would be hard to recap each and every one of them.
That would be basically us doing a whole nother year of recaps.
Yeah, so we're not going to do that. But what we are going to do, we're going to give you some stats. Now, for you listening, I don't know how many other podcasts you listen to. We're not hugely popular. I don't even think we're really that popular to begin with. But from the beginning, we wanted to do this for us.
We did. And we
And
do. It continues to
yes,
remain.
and we continue to do this for us, for our relationship, for our dynamic, and to keep us in line with the dominant submissive. It was only the fact that, we're going to make it public. So the fact that we have the listeners and the downloads that we do is huge to us. I know there's other podcasts out there that would look at these numbers and would just die laughing. And that's okay.
It is okay, because this is me and you
'Cause,
doing
yes,
what we want to do.
We wanted to do this for us. We wanted to do this to educate. So the fact that you at home or you at work or you driving to work
Listen to
are
us.
listening to us and, asking questions and commenting on our videos, to us is huge. And first and foremost, thank you. Thank everyone who has taken the time to listen. Even if you've only listened to one or two,
That's fine.
We may not be right for you, and that's fine. But thank you for listening. So here's a little bit of our stats. We're going to really talk about our top 3 episodes, really the most popular 3 episodes. We've got 5 listed out.
Yes.
And we are going to hit on all 5, and we're really going to talk about the 3. Our number 1 most popular episode is episode 3, Subspace, Subdrop, and Aftercare. And it has a total of 264 downloads right now prior to us recording this. And this wasn't even a topic that we had on our list.
Well, we thought it was important.
But when we first started our list, this wasn't even, on here. And we had our community, our inner circle said, hey, something that never gets talked about. And instantly, it was true. We was overlooking one of the biggest topics when it comes to BDSM.
And once they said that to us,
we knew immediately.
And that's why it's episode 3.
That's why it's episode 3. Yeah. It was absolutely the most important thing for us to discuss. And it is the most popular because most of the time people don't talk about it. People don't understand it. It does get overlooked. And that's where your dominant submissive, dominant slave, master slave, any of that, that is where you could get into trouble with your relationship for that dynamic, is if you overlook or if you ignore the subspace, if you overlook or you ignore the aftercare due to the subdrop, any of that.
Yeah, and we figured it was so important when we saw that it was one of the top episodes. We had Jade on.
Yes, we did.
And to talk another perspective of that for somebody whose play partners aren't necessarily living together. Correct. And what that kind of situation creates, which is different than ours.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it was a total different perspective. We're not done talking about subspace, subdrop, aftercare. This is a continuing thing to discuss. We're going to get more people to give their perspective of it because every dynamic is different. Every relationship is different, and everybody suffers subdrop and aftercare totally different. There is some similarities, but everybody's is different. So it's going to be a continuing topic.
Yes.
As we move into, the next year, 2 years, however long we do this, it will remain. Our second favorite episode, most popular, is episode 5, Dominant Submissive Lifestyle, intro to domination. I can't talk today. I'm having a little bit of trouble there.
I understand. After a year of this, your tongue is just...
Well, yeah, probably.
Or you might have been busy with that tongue last night.
It could have been one of the 2. Got to exercise it more. But in this episode, we talked about how to be dominant, without hitting, without impact.
No impact on that one.
And, it was a little bit of mental mind control. It was setting up tasks.
Positioning your body
to be in a more dominant manner and a more dominant posture.
So that one had 245 downloads.
It did.
245 downloads. And I think that one of the biggest things that I feel show how domination occurs in the mind versus physically is that you had a rule for me from the beginning
From
no
the very
panties.
beginning.
From
Nope.
the very beginning.
Yes.
If I'm wearing a skirt, there are no panties underneath my skirt.
Absolutely
There are
none.
home, out, doesn't matter. If I am wearing a skirt, I am not wearing any panties.
Correct.
And what happened was everybody at the club learned about this. And at some point, you started checking our
I did.
friends' submissives to see if they had panties on when
Correct.
they had a skirt. And it became a thing where most of the other dominants made them
Right.
also not wear
correct.
panties.
And they, a lot of them would also, when we get to the club, the submissives would have to come either tell me or show me or let me find out for myself. But they would be like, I followed your rules, and of course, no panties there. And what's funny is when they do have to, when there is a reason to wear panties, whether they're wearing a insertable vibrator, with a remote control or any of that, when they do wear panties, they always have the excuse ready. This is why I'm wearing them. And again, they're not my submissives. I have zero control over them.
Right.
But it is the inner circle, the community that we have, and the respect that we have amongst each other. That there's a lot of them that says, "Hey, if you're going to wear that, you better go with no panties because it's Master Nick's rule." So it is
so awesome.
It is. It is. I mean, something simple like that, the impact and the meaning that it has on me. Just to know that
other
dominants are now doing it, and their submissives are following it, and it is. It's really cool. It's an honor to for them to come up and do that.
That episode came about in a strange kind of way. And I know that it's important and it would have been in a discussion anyways, but we had done one of our demos that was a club demo, not a swinger society demo. And when we did the demo at the club, you got on the microphone and did a very good quick discussion about how to dominate.
Right.
And you were talking about, hey, BDSM isn't about impact. It isn't about pain. And you were talking about how, have you ever pinned your woman up against the wall and gave them a kiss, held their hands above their head? And that's a form of BDSM, of dominance.
Correct.
And that literally is what kicked off that episode.
Right.
That was the behind the scenes thing for that episode.
It was. All right, our third most popular episode 1, the introduction, and it had 233 downloads. And obviously, introduction episode, that was us starting the podcast. That was us trying to get people interested in listening to us.
Of course, it was our second recording of it because the first we just sat down and started chatting.
The first one
it was
practice
gone.
run, and it went super well. But yeah, it was just talking about, how we got to where we was, how we got into BDSM, the kinks and the fantasies that I had that, where I just thought I was fucked up and was afraid to talk to people about this kind of stuff because I didn't know about BDSM.
Right.
I didn't know what a dominant was.
Thank God you met me, sir.
I know it. Thank God you found me. But and again, it kind of warms my heart to know that, even though this was just an episode of us talking about us, who we are and why we're doing this, for it to be the top third, in the top 3, coming in at number 3. And again, it feels good. It warm and fuzzy inside is how it makes me feel.
No. So for me, episode 4 with 199 downloads.
Yes.
You were saying, hey, let's do this episode on the top 3. I was like, hey, but top 4 warms my heart and my ass.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Episode 4, impact play. And that was getting, the implements out, giving a little description about what they were, what they looked like.
And hitting me with
and
it.
And then hitting you with it so that everybody could hear the sounds.
We didn't even record that. I think we tried to record that video.
Yeah.
And it
didn't
cut out
right.
or something. Yeah. And so we didn't have a recording of that. But a video of it, but the
Right.
recording itself,
Oh, it sounded good.
it sounded good. And you hit me with the dragon tail.
Yep.
The
What's
dragon
dragon's
tail is what made me,
yellow out. You was done.
I was done.
You let me do it twice, one on each cheek, I think. But yeah, you was done
Woo!
after that. And then our number 5 episode was episode 7, where we interviewed Sir Dante and Zora. That was part 1 of that.
Top 5th,
It
top
has
5.
189 downloads. And of course, we know where some of those downloads went to.
We're not allowed to talk about that, Master Nick.
I know, but I did want to
But
kind of throw that in.
we did. They are, like you said, ride and die.
Yes.
They have been a part of our world from the beginning. They
From
were
the
our
very
very
beginning.
first interview here.
Yep.
And I think that a lot of the things we've learned and explored and done has been because of them.
It is. And again, we've done the conventions with them. We've done Kinktasia with them. We've done a couple of classes with them, and can't give it away, can't talk about it too much, but be ready for in the future. We've got bigger things coming with them involved in our lives. So yeah, it's going to be great. But again,
and that interview was really, we set it up because we were trying to do dominant relationships, right?
A different perspective. Yes.
And a lot of it is, I could talk all day long about this because we love BDSM.
Yes.
We could talk, but our perspective will get old. I
Yes.
need, or you as listeners need to hear other people who have
Correct.
lived this life and done it either longer or shorter. You need to have a full perspective in order to understand what BDSM is.
Right. Right. And again, you can get on, you can read about it, but you're reading about one person's perspective. But that's what it takes. It takes, if you are completely in the dark about it, that's what you have to have in order to learn and understand that, it's not a cookie cutter checklist that you go by. It is different for everybody. Everybody's varies. There is a lot of similarities. You take Sir Dante. I mean, he is very strict with his rules. They have a very, very, very well laid out contract. Everything is in black and white. But from between us and them, they are more extreme and more dedicated to their dominant submissive relationship.
Yeah, because it's all documented out.
Yes.
If we did that, I can't even remember the rules. Like we couldn't follow that path in our life right now.
Correct.
Which is good because
right. I don't know that I would want to live my life that dialed in. I like the variance and the changes that we encounter day to day. Not saying what they do is wrong, because it is working perfectly for them.
Yes.
And I honestly believe they could not live their dynamic like we do.
Nope.
They would drive themselves nuts. So it's different for everybody. And that was the importance of doing all of these.
The interviews.
All of the interviews. And we've got several more out there. I mean, we had Mandy and Chris, we had Loki and Christina.
Milady K.
We had her on. We had Bear on. So there's a lot more interviews out there, but none of them made it in the top 5 yet. So
keep listening.
Keep downloading, keep doing your job, and change those up a little bit.
Subspace, Subdrop, and Aftercare, the intro to domination, the introduction and impact play. Sir Dante and Zora's, I'm not necessarily sure, but I know those top 4 have always been in the top 4.
Yes.
We have had those, in the top 4 or 5.
And they used to be very, very close in numbers. Now they've skipped out a little bit. There's 10 to 15 downloads in between. But yeah, there for a while, those 3 were, it was like watching a NASCAR race. Each time a week come around, there was a different one leading.
I was very surprised about the impact play because to me, you can't watch it on a video. So you're listening to it. And I know that a lot of people enjoy audio like that, but it surprised me that was in the top all the time.
Yep. But it has been. And it's like, again, we watch it. We look at our stats every day. I mean, that's how much we enjoy you all at home listening. we look at the stats every day. We get excited when we see a new country's come on to listen. We
It's the
get
growth.
excited when we when we hit a milestone. So let's just talk a little bit more about that.
We did
What do you
one
got?
episode. We did one episode where, maybe two, where we stopped and we talked about, hey, we just hit this milestone.
Yes.
And while we haven't talked about the milestones, because there are milestones, a 1 year is a big one. So I'm glad
Yes.
we're doing this now. But don't think because we're not broadcasting, oh, we hit 5,000 or oh, we hit, that we're not as excited about it as the first
Right.
500 or 1,000.
Right. And that comes about. So we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to do our stats. We're going to talk about how we've grown in the year. Individually, as a group, as a community, and then if there's time, I want to talk about where I'd like to go, and that's part of it. We've both talked about, for our age, social media isn't really our thing. As far as the posting and the taking the time of editing everything. So in the next year, I would love for us to have a social media manager that takes all of our clips, that is involved with us, that knows where we're at, that can help us get those videos out
To a wider audience.
I mean, we do have Facebook, we do have TikTok,
But to consistently post, though.
post and do all that. So yes, you are right. Although we've hit numerous milestones throughout all of this, we have done a couple videos. But again, yes, it is very important to us. And it has been a great honor to get on and see the growth that we've done. So let's talk a little bit about our growth in the last year. So where all have we been? So we started off doing nothing but audio.
Yes.
And we were on some of the major audio platforms, Spotify, iHeart, Apple. And now whenever there's a list, it's like 30 some apps that we have our audio podcast on. And to us, that is huge.
It is.
Again, it's great. But we have grown from audio. We're now to audio and video.
Yes, so it takes a little bit more work to get these out.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, it's more for us. I mean, we had to invest in lighting. We had to invest in cameras. We had to invest, obviously we can't be in our lounge around comfy clothes when we do our videos.
I miss those times.
So now, you're having to put on a little bit of makeup. You're having to, so it's a more effort on us. But again, for the people that want to see us, I am more than willing to do that. If you're willing to listen to us, we'll put it out there. And then for some of our stats, so we are currently in 51 countries.
51 countries.
Now, this is just audio side. I do not have enough stats on the YouTube side to be able to. So this is all purely audio from like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple.
Yeah, it tracks it. We used a program that disperses it and tracks it.
So this is just our audio side. 51 countries. We have a total of 6,716 downloads. All of that in 1 year. But what really makes us feel good is when we started last year in June, for the whole month, we had 250 downloads.
And that is nothing to scoff at. It was our first month.
It was our very first month.
250.
We dropped, 4 episodes the first week and then an episode after that. So 7 episodes, and we got 250 downloads. I mean, it's pretty freaking great.
I know. Our friends are awesome.
And then, so we went back and we looked at last month. 871 downloads for 1 month. Now,
and every month
it has gone up
every month, the amount of downloads that have occurred in a month. And I'm just so that you all understand, we do not have 871 friends. We don't. So thank you for those people that do not know us, that are listening to our episodes, because this isn't just our community. This is a wider, greater, this is 51 countries.
Yep.
And yeah,
it's been great. But over the year, I think that we have grown, as individuals, we have grown as a community. We've done several demos over the
Oh,
last year.
we have done a lot of demos.
We've done some for the club and for Swinger Society.
And you always have to think when you're doing these demos, we're a little bit over the top. And every time
Yeah.
we want to amp it up a little bit.
Yes.
You don't want to have the exact same thing.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, yeah, I saw them hitting people last time. Oh,
Right.
that's exciting. So each and every time we have amped it up, we have done more, we have bought things, we have set it up, we understood the crowd. That helps, is understanding who is coming and what they want to see.
Right.
Are we doing a show or are we doing interactive or both?
Yep.
So there's been a lot of those.
Yeah.
And you don't do, you do the mental planning, the speaking, and everything physical on the table in the thing. I have. It's me. I buy it.
All the artwork, all the props, all of that stuff. That's all you. Yep.
Yeah. Which is why, sometimes our life is so busy. So busy.
Yeah, depending on.
Well, we did the audio this last time.
Depending on what demo we're having, I did have to unload the Temu truck, the Temu semi that pulled down our road. I did have to unload that one day. So depending on the demo and depending on what all you've bought, there could be a lot involved.
We've gotten it down to a pretty good science now on our setup. Yeah. Thank God for our community and our good friends.
Yep. And they are growing by the minute. And that's the other thing is our inner circle has grown tremendously over a year.
It's amazing.
And it's going to continue to grow.
I think at the club, the BDSM crowd,
there's more there.
There's so many more. Yep. And it has been increasing exponentially because now dungeon time etiquette is needed because there is not as much, there's so many people that it's not like we can walk in and you're just there and nobody else and everybody's just watching. Now there's a lot of people that participate in it.
Oh yeah. And so the BDSM group, for little over 3 years that we've been a member of the club now. When we started there, there was only 2 or 3 other couples that was even into BDSM, and for all of us to wind up at the club on the same night was very rare. But yeah, now you get there, and we usually do have a big crowd with us. Whether it's our inner circle or people that wants to experience it or something like that. But yeah, it is making sure that if somebody else comes in wanting to use the dungeon, that we make sure they have a station that they want, so that they can use it. But yes, and that goes back to our etiquette episode that we did talk about, and how to talk, how to enter a dungeon, some of the rules and stuff. So
one of the things with the dungeon that has changed in our world is that, let me back up. I still get mine, but
yes, you do.
Within the dungeon, our time is spent educating others. Yeah. You have become, even at the club, somebody that you pull out the implement and people know,
right,
and come to you and say, "Hey, I was here at the demo, or I was interested in. Yep. I see you've got this. Can you show me?" Or even if nobody comes up and there's just a room full of people, you'll walk over to them and say, "Hey,
what are you interested in?" Because you're not going to be standing there if there's not some little tickle in your head that you want to know what it is. So yeah, when I see people just standing, I'll go to them and say, what are you interested in? What would you like to feel tonight? But yeah, there's been times as soon as we've walked into the club, people have come up. "Oh my God, are you going to be in the dungeon tonight?" Of course. Yes. Yeah. And they're like, "Okay, well, can you do this?" "Yeah, just, catch us when we're up there. I'll be more than happy." So yeah,
there's been times that I've had to protect your time because I knew somebody that came to me and said, "I really, really need the electric wand tonight. It's been a long time and I've had to, hey, Master Nick, before you touch anyone else, let me go grab."
Let's go get her. Yep. Because there is those that they want it, they want to feel it, whether it's their first time or their 100th time. They feel that they need it and they want it, but they're a little timid to, to walk up and say, "Can I be next?" So they
Right.
will. They'll talk to you, and kind of lay the groundwork, and then then you like, "Oh my God, hold on, before you do that, let's go get so and so."
So we've really grown in the way that we handle people
Oh yeah,
and the way that we interact with others, the kind of attitude we need to have when going into the dungeon. Before, it was just our group playing with our group.
yeah,
I mean, we'd go in and it would just be a night of, and we've done that recently. And I
yeah,
was really, really happy to have that kind of a night where we had enough people in there. We shut the door. We were
yeah.
in there testing out each other's implements, and everybody was playing, hey, try this, try that.
Right.
And that was a really
Oh
fun
yeah,
night. But I also enjoyed the education of others,
right.
which is a good thing because I let you go and do a lot of
Right.
things.
And one of the things that I enjoy, I mean, I love topping other people. I love showing them what the implements feel like. But I think the last two times that we've been to the dungeon, what I've really enjoyed is I've sat back and watched others, because I'm one of them people that feel you'll never know it all. There's no way you will ever learn and know everything there is to know. And so those moments where I get to stand back and watch somebody else do it and watch their technique and see how they mix things up and how they do things, I really enjoy those moments too, because then I can take in, hopefully I can learn something new. I can learn a new trick. I can see a new implement.
It sounds to
Whereas
me like a dungeon play date here is needed with,
with a lot of people, yeah, we'll need to get that invitation up, get that sent out to our inner circle. Cause yeah, I would enjoy a night of having the people that we really know, that we really trust, that we really, really enjoy spending our time with. And that group has grown in a year. Holy shit. There's several now. I mean, we used to have house parties and it was like 8 to 10 people. We do it now. We're like 18, 20, 22, 24 people. So I think we probably need to get a bigger house so we can get a bigger dungeon.
Nope.
And
No, sir.
because our group is going to continue to grow
Yes.
as people want to experience this and as they want to learn and when they want to take it seriously. Our group is always open for new people to come in. We love hanging out. We love learning from you, and it has been great. Another big thing that we've done over the last year, and it was talked about very heavily there towards the beginning of our podcast, but we renegotiated our contract.
Yeah, we talked about it over and over. Like it would just pop up in random episodes, and I was
Yep.
like, shut the hell up.
Yep. But we did. What was it, about 2, maybe 3 months ago?
I don't even know that it's been that long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember. But yeah, so our contract was a little outdated.
But I was surprised at how much
of it
we
we
still
done.
followed.
And there was some things that we took out, and there was some things that we added into it. But yeah, that was, and again, that was some of the
That's
comments
one
that
where
we
I
got.
completely owe you an apology because I was 100% wrong on what you said.
Just for the records, for the ones that did hear that, we did go back. We did check the surveillance cameras
in our home.
and no, I wasn't hateful sounding. And I did say it's okay.
He did say it's okay, but he also acknowledged that it could have been handled a little bit different.
It could have been.
But it's on me that I heard it wrong, and thankfully,
it is what it is. It was one of those things. But a lot of the comments that we got on that one, people were appreciative of the fact that we were so open about not only our relationship and our dynamic, but to air all of that out on air for anybody and everybody to listen to. Contracts are personal. They really dive into the personal side of the dominant, and they dive into the personal side of the submissive. And it's not easy to open up and to air out everything that's in your contract.
Right, because a big part of it, and I didn't think of it this way until you just said it, was it's personal to the dominant and it's personal to the submissive.
It is.
I am acknowledging, I'm giving up control.
Yes.
I'm saying these and doing these things.
Right.
And it was a little bit, there was a little bit of tension there during part of the episode.
There was.
I mean, it got a little bit hard to be that open.
Yeah. But we made it through it.
We did.
And again, there was several people to comment about how they appreciated the fact that we were willing to open it up. And, you know, that was 95% of our contract. And everything didn't get talked about. There was some
Right.
things that we did intentionally leave out for us, but you got at least 95% of our contract that was out there. And hopefully if you are in a dynamic and you are working on your first contract, or maybe you were looking to renegotiate yours, hopefully it sheds some light on, you know, how a contract should look. Hopefully, you know, it give you some ideas. Everything that I had on there, I mean, all of it wasn't my own idea. It was reading other contracts and seeing what was in them and going, I like that. But then,
Yes.
you know, rewording it, rephrasing it, making it my own. But again, I don't think I could sit down without looking at another one or hearing somebody else talk about theirs and come up with all of that for a contract. You know, it was easier this time around 6 years in than it was in our first year, our first few months of being together.
Yeah, it was
and me
rough.
being completely brand new in all of it.
And sticking to it and having a contract that you could say it's in our contract
Yep.
was really rough in the first year of our
It
relationship.
was.
To have both the contract and a new relationship
It
and be
was.
living together,
Yep.
it got a little bit rough, which is why it got set aside.
Yep.
And we kept talking about having to go through it again.
Yep. So stick around, keep listening, keep following, share with everybody that you know. Let's get everybody involved in BDSM. Everybody has a kink. Everybody has a fantasy.
Yeah.
Let us help you get to that point to where
And
you're ready to explore it.
we're totally going to explore more.
Oh, absolutely. We've got tons more coming up. We've got more growth for us to do. We've got to get doing more conventions. We want to get more into the LNK that is here in our local area, you know, with their meet and greets and their dungeon plays and their classes that they do. So we are going to continue educating ourselves. We're not going down this road by ourselves. Sir Dante and Zora has even said, you know, that they're going to be there with us. And there's several others from our inner circle that want to get out, start exploring more as well.
And not only that, as they explore, now they're educating others.
Yes.
And it's amazing to me that we've come this far
Yes.
in a year.
Yeah.
I couldn't have even imagined that our podcast would do what it's done.
Right.
And when people come to us and say, oh my God, I listened to your podcast and this was great.
Yeah.
It really makes me feel good.
It does. We absolutely love it. And we wouldn't be sitting here doing this without, you know, the help and support from our friends, from our club, and from you all that don't know us at all, but still choose to listen. So keep listening. We are going to start next week, season 2.
Season 2.
So make sure and come back for that. Until then, you all have a great time.
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com, where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.